SmackDown had the best match at the Royal Rumble. That's just a fact. Let alone the fact that somebody from SmackDown won the Rumble. And while Raw continues to be an absolute wrestling retirement home, SmackDown is already building towards its next two, count them, two pay-per-views. Let's get into it. What's going on, everybody? It's your buddy, it's your pal Spaz Phoenix, the YWC Reality Check, here with your January 31st, 2017 SmackDown Live review. And if you don't like what I said in the open, let's go through a couple of things here. The SmackDown women's match at the Royal Rumble, a throwaway 6-woman tag on the pre-show, was better than either women's match put on by Raw. You had the big show of the women in Nia Jax squashing an already injured Sasha Banks, who gets injured when she gets up in the morning. You had Bayley versus Charlotte, which, fine, was a decent Raw match. But it was made, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, by the ending. Let me just tell you something, okay? If one person can do a super kick, anybody can do a super kick. If one person can do a suicide dive, anybody can do a suicide. And if one person can do their finisher on the ring apron, be it Kevin Owens, be it Seth Rollins, or be it Charlotte, anybody can do a finisher on the apron. It doesn't make it particularly special. Now, what else did Raw bring you? Raw brought you the absolute clusterfuck that was the Universal Championship match between Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns. So Braun Strowman, yeah, that was a thing. Jericho and the whole sexy piñata gimmick in the cage that they stole from NXT, yeah, that's a thing. What else did they steal from NXT? Oh yeah, they stole some time from NXT to promote the Rollins Triple H feud. Oh yeah, what else did they do? Oh yeah, Goldberg looking gassed in the Rumble was brought to you by Raw. Lesnar continuing to being portrayed like a bitch by Goldberg was brought to you by Raw. Undertaker looking old was brought to you by Raw. Roman Reigns coming in at number 30 was brought to you by Raw. And the only guy that could make the crowd okay with Randy Orton winning the Rumble, because I admit it's not the best thing in the world, the alternative was brought to you by Raw. It's all terrible. Now, I know what everybody's going to say. Spaz, you're a huge mark for NXT. How are you not excited for the debut of Samoa Joe? I am excited for the debut of Samoa Joe. I'm a mark for Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe is the kind of guy we need on the main roster. But let's look at a few things. First of all, they put him on Raw to begin with. That's going to fail on its face because it's Raw. It fails by definition. B, they didn't bring him up to be Samoa Joe. They brought him up to be a tool for Triple H. C, Rollins is supposed to be the face. Joe's supposed to be the heel. Tell me how Samoa Joe is not going to get cheered everywhere they go because people are so excited to see him on the main roster. Rollins is not going to get over as the babyface, even though Joe is one of the best heels in the company. And he's a placeholder. You brought up Samoa Joe, which was a huge, very much anticipated bring up to the main roster, and he's not even brought up to be Samoa Joe. He's brought up to be a placeholder for Triple H until WrestleMania. And let's go outside the Samoa Joe realm for a second. Triple H is the creator of NXT. Triple H is the only reason that there is some good shit happening in the WWE. He's not going to get booed at WrestleMania. Rollins is not going to get over. Everybody's going to lose. They're going to trample the debuting Samoa Joe, I'm assuming at Fastlane, on the way to Rollins versus Triple H at Mania. It's a fail. Yes, it is wicked excited to have Samoa Joe on the main roster. Absolutely. I'm not going to come up here and say that it's not, but they've fucked it from jump because it's Raw. Oh yes, now let's get into something a lot more positive. Let's get into SmackDown that starts off with a tremendous highlight reel from the Rumble with some very exaggerated headlines from a lot of different magazines, etc. Bryan and Shane and AJ Styles are shown in the back. Styles wants his rematch. A rematch in the chamber is unacceptable. Bryan and Shane announced that the Elimination Chamber competitors have already been established. It's Styles, it's Cena, it's Wyatt, it's Corbin, it's Miz, and it's Ambrose. Ambrose shows up and says, "Is that the only reason you brought me here?" Calls out AJ Styles for all the bullshit in their title match when Ellsworth knocked him off the ladder a while ago. Consistency in the SmackDown booking, consistency in the SmackDown storytelling, something severely lacking on Raw. Oh yes. But then we have what we knew was going to happen. And I mean, let's be real for a second. I don't like John Cena. One of the things that popped on this channel was my video Cena Apocalypse a couple years ago talking about the top 50 reasons why John Cena was killing professional wrestling. That does not put the blinders on to me like it does to some people, to the fact that AJ Styles versus John Cena is an amazing feud, probably second best to his feud with CM Punk for completely different reasons, and the match on Sunday was fucking phenomenal, no pun intended. So all due credit to John Cena, who got his 16th title reign. He's matched up with Ric Flair, and we're not wasting WrestleMania time with that story. So everybody wins. He brags about winning. He brags about the history and the symbolism of the WWE Championship. Case in point, everybody was saying that because Cena won, and Cena is a guy that they used to debut new titles, they're going to debut the SmackDown Blue WWE Championship. That didn't happen tonight. But if the image that's going around Twitter right now about with the new Blue WWE Championship is what they're actually going to use, it's not actually half bad looking. I'll just put that out there. Now, you can go on to the rumors of them rebranding the Intercontinental and US titles, that coming up soon. A little more nervous about that, not gonna lie, but if what I've seen is what they're gonna use, it's not too bad. And I mean, look what they did with the UK belt. That belt's fucking beautiful, and we're gonna see that like what, once a month. He does the John Cena thing. He gives Cena he gives Styles a bunch of credit. He calls him an elite superstar that he underestimated. I was wrong about you. You're not just some guy from Atlanta. He pumps up the Elimination Chamber, and he does the typical John Cena, if you want some, come get some. Out comes Wyatt and Orton. Then they mock Cena's title win, and they mock the fans. You know, oh, look, isn't it so cute? Everything's back the way it's supposed to be. But in 2 weeks, you'll be trapped in a chamber with me, says Bray Wyatt, and I will bring about the era of Wyatt when I take your championship. Puts over Randy Orton winning the Rumble and says if I can't do it, he will. And he's going to get the title at Mania. We are going to set that title free, and they do the whole "we're here" thing, even though it's on the ramp, which looks a little funny. When they do the "we're here" thing, and then they do the blow out the lantern, and then they come out to the ring, it's an effective little thing. When they're already on the ramp, it doesn't work quite as well, but it's fine. They're going towards the ring. There's the jump scare, the Wyatt jump scare, which is it's one of those things. Well, the Wyatts are already there, so it can only be Luke Harper. Luke Harper appears next to John Cena. Shane McMahon comes out, makes the very predictable first match of the night, which is John Cena and Luke Harper versus the remainder, the remainder of the Wyatt family, which is basically Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton. Cena and Wyatt lock up with the collar and elbow tie, and a headlock by Cena, and the crowd pops when they think they're going to have Orton and Cena face off. I have to say something here. If they do John Cena versus Randy Orton at WrestleMania, nobody's going to like it. I will roll my eyes at it myself. But I will say, as much as nobody wants to hear it, John Cena and Randy Orton is a feud that works. It's not exciting, it's not new, it's not the best possible match we could get for WrestleMania, which is what we should always aim for. But it is a rivalry that works, and it's a rivalry that I don't think has ever happened one-on-one at WrestleMania, and obviously if I'm wrong, somebody's going to correct me down in the box below. But you see the crowd, as much as people say they hate it, the minute Cena and Orton were eye to eye, there was a pop. And then it was like the crowd almost stopped and said, oh shit, we're popping, we shouldn't be popping for this. They go back to the Cena sucks chant, which is very, very interesting. Forearms and a senton by Harper, corner splash, dropkick and a hangman by Harper, brawl on the outside. Suplex on the commentator tape by Harper to Orton. There's a stare down between Harper and Wyatt. Harper, even though he's the opposition, will not lay a hand on Wyatt, and that is a theme that exists throughout the entirety of this match. And the commentators, I give a lot of shtick to guys like David Otunga and Tom Phillips and even JBL at times, but they do a great job of telling the story. You know, John Cena's at a disadvantage because his partner will only fight half of the opposition. It's a good little thing. Right hands by Cena and a back elbow by Wyatt. Mudhole stomp by Wyatt and some, mounted punches, because I can read my writing clearly. Back to the Mudhole stomp once again. Orton stomp in the corner by Orton as we go to commercial break. As we come back from the commercial break, running senton by Wyatt, kitchen sink and a suspension DDT by Orton. Clothesline by Cena, chops by Wyatt, a slam by Orton. Rolling shoulder tackles and a slide slam by Cena, followed by the 5-knuckle shuffle. Sister Abigail on Harper, RKO to Cena, gets the win. And if you want to set the stage for what could potentially be happening at WrestleMania, you want to see an RKO on John Cena. Great match, starts off the night. I do have a theory that I want to talk to you guys about, because Orton is the only person so far that has his ticket permanently punched for WrestleMania. So the winner of the Royal Rumble match has to do something while they figure out the titles at Chamber. I figure they're going to give him a filler match at the Elimination Chamber against Luke Harper, although they haven't really actually announced that yet. Excuse me. There was some bullshit. The Ellsworth bullshit coming out with Carmella dressed as a goof. She fought a jobber. She won because Ellsworth helped. This doesn't really help anybody because Ellsworth nobody's interested in anymore. Carmella is the talent. The jobber is the jobber. So if the talent needs help to beat the jobber, nobody really wins in this. On one of Valena's recent videos, she talked about how Carmella is one of the best on the SmackDown women's roster, and I just don't agree with that at all, because she's kind of crap. Kalisto versus Ziggler was short, sweet, and to the point. Commentators did a good brief video package running through the heel turn of Ziggler and how he's basically repeatedly beat the crap out of Kalisto to solidify his heel turn. They don't really go very far back onto the Jerry Lawler and kicking him in the chest and saying he was going to kill him. They just focus on the continuous beatdown of Kalisto and the occasional beatdowns of Apollo Crews. The same thing happens here. It's basically Kalisto getting the shit kicked out of him. He gets one quick flurry in on Ziggler, but it's answered by a super kick and Ziggler gets the win. Ziggler goes for the mask. Apollo chases him out of the ring. Predicting Apollo Crews versus Dolph Ziggler in the pre-show of the Elimination Chamber. Yeah, it's a little fast, but they only have 2 weeks to build to the show, so I will cut them a bit of slack if they sort of slam bang some matches together for the Elimination Chamber, because the Chamber match is really all we care about. Speaking of things we don't care about, unfortunately, Naomi is back on my television. Oh, yes. We got Becky Lynch and Naomi versus Mickie James and Alexa Bliss, proving once again that Naomi basically buddies up to anybody. She buddied up to Paige when she was basically AJ Lee's replacement. She buddied up with Tamina and Sasha Banks in the Team Bad bullshit. And now she's buddied up to Becky Lynch because Becky Lynch needs a filler tag team partner. I'm sorry, until they announce it, I refuse to believe that they're giving this useless piece of trash a women's title match. I'm sorry. She's garbage. And let's go. Becky and Alexa start the match. Headlock, arm lock, front face lock, all by Becky. Naomi tags into the ring, so let's talk about this. Naomi comes in, falls on her ass, flops around a little bit, and face plants sideways into the ropes. Oh yes. Front kick and a drop kick by Mickie James. Alexa takes down Naomi by her hairpiece, and that makes me smile a whole fucking lot. Oh yes. Rolling clotheslines by Becky, a corner forearm, a stomp in the quarter, and an exploder suplex by Becky. Top rope arm drag and a chick kick by Mickie James as we go to commercial break. Alexa rides a headlock, snake eyes by Mickie, and a boot corner choke by Mickie. Back elbow, head scissor. Mickie James rides a headlock for a long time, a takedown, and a boot by Bliss. And then we get that oh so special moment. Here comes the hot tag to Naomi, who Titus O'Neil's around the ring for a little while, complete with the no actual contact silly kicks, and gets the bullshit win. Because it's 2017 and WWE's a little bit scared, I guess. But good match. Great effort by the other 3 women in this match. Naomi can suck a dick, and I'm pretty sure she does, and that's why she has a job. Moving on. American Alpha come out. They cut a promo about how they beat the Wyatts, defended against the Wyatts, and they haven't had a match since. They come out, they want an open challenge. They say, you know, anybody that wants to face us, come on out type deal, and they go out to the ring. It's actually announced by the announcers as an American Alpha Open Challenge, which is kind of cool. It's answered by the Usos, and I said this on Twitter, and I got a fair few responses. WWE never pushed the team of Crime Time properly, yet they've turned the Usos into Crime Time and are pushing them. Kind of. It's a little interesting little side note. So you figure you're going to get American Alpha versus the Usos. Again, they're going to go for American Alpha's leg. Again, and it's going to be all good, but then they're followed by the Ascension, the Vaudevillains, Breezango, and Slater and Rhino. Oh my god, there's 6 teams, and the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view is coming up soon. I wonder what's going to happen here. No, I really don't. They have a big brawl. The brawl goes into the commercial break, and the brawl continues after the commercial break. And eventually, American Alpha, Slater, and Rhino were the only ones standing tall, which I thought was rather odd, because you've got 5 legit teams: American Alpha, the Usos, Ascension, the Vaudevillains, and Breezango, and then you got the Slap Bang team that won the titles in the first place, and they're the ones that get to stand tall. It's very, very odd, very, very strange. But my prediction, once again, and I'm going on a lot of predictions in this preview because it's all I can do based on what they're giving us. I predict that they're going to give us another tag team elimination chamber match, which would be fine. I figured they were going to do an elimination chamber for the women. You know, they're on the kick of doing all the firsts thing, and then I remembered that we're not talking about Raw, and we're not just going to do a first just because we can. In the back, we have Daniel Bryan with Nikki and Natalya, and Natalya, trying to make Nikki sound bad, is going around with her own personal security team now, so that Nikki Bella doesn't assault her. I suppose it's better than her bringing her cats. I don't know. Daniel Bryan is sick of the bullshit. He gives them a match at Elimination Chamber. So that is the second official Elimination Chamber match signed tonight. And then our main event is Ambrose versus Styles with Miz and Maurice on commentary. Typical Ambrose versus Styles match, really, it wasn't the greatest, but we'll go through it anyway, because it's a little bit of fun. Chain wrestling to start, and an armbar by Styles. Headlock by Ambrose, working the arm a lot. Snapmare, and a headlock by Ambrose, and a reversal by Styles. Shoulder tackle by Styles. Arm drag by Ambrose. Cloverleaf by Ambrose, and he turns it into the Rings of Saturn, which is not a bad move right there. Kitchen sink on the outside by Styles, and corner chops when they get back in the ring. Mudhole by Ambrose, and Ambrose eats the ring post shoulder first. Takedown and a headlock by Ambrose, and a back drop. Corbin's music plays. Everybody pauses. He comes down to the ring, and we go to commercial break. We come back from the commercial break. He's on commentary with The Miz, arguing about the Elimination Chamber. 2 guys on commentary, 2 guys in the ring, and 2 guys that fought in the first match of the night. There's your 6 guys for the Elimination Chamber match. You could not prepare the audience for Survivor Series, or not Survivor Series, shit, that was a while ago, and I was there. Elimination Chamber any better than they did tonight. Ambrose gets crotched on the top rope and eats a bunch of knee drops from Styles. Corner clothesline by Styles. Neckbreaker by Ambrose. Rolling back elbows by Ambrose and the miniature sort of lunatic lariat. Snake eyes and a torture rack by Styles. Ambrose forearms Styles right out of the ring. They hit, and I wrote it in capital letters, a fuck ton of counters that I'm not going to write down. No. Tiebreaker by Styles. Pele, lariat by Ambrose. Top rope elbow on the outside by Ambrose. Corbin and The Miz brawl at ringside. That causes a distraction. Styles clash gets the win for Styles. He loses at the friggin' Royal Rumble, but he's still the strongest looking guy out of this entire equation until Miz decides he's going to pick the bones of Ambrose, hits him with a skull-crushing finale. Corbin strolls into the ring, not giving a single fuck, hits an end of days on The Miz, and one on Ambrose. He's standing tall at the end of the fucking night. Corbin is fucking beast. Oh yeah, that's one more reason that SmackDown is better than Raw. Raw's beast, Baron Corbin, who's taken out the #1 contender and the champion and like 10 people in the Rumble. Simple clothesline by Baron Corbin. He's out of the fucking Rumble. Fuck you, Baron Corbin. Fuck you, Raw. SmackDown all the way. Chamber, so far, looks like we're getting Apollo Crews versus Dolph Ziggler, Nikki versus Natalya, a 6-team chamber, possibly Orton versus Harper, possibly, and the main event is Cena, Styles, Miz, Wyatt, Ambrose, and Corbin in an Elimination Chamber match for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. That is worth the price of admission. I've been Spaz, your YWC Reality Check. Subscribe up there, talk down there, start a conversation, keep all these conversations going. Don't be a stranger. I'll talk to each and every last one of you later, but for right now, I'm tagging out. Bye, guys. Don't apologize.